Hey everyone, I'm here with a 2021 VW Atlas Cross Sport, and contrary to the video that I shot before, which had a Cross Sport with a 2-liter turbo and the base S trim, but with 4Motion, this one has the VR6 big 6-cylinder engine under the hood. This also has 4Motion all-wheel drive, and this is pretty much one of the most expensive Volkswagens you can get in the United States right now. Arguably the most luxurious next to the Arteon SEL Premium. But we'll go around here and I'll take a quick look at the back end, because it shows you exactly like what trim it is and everything. You have 4Motion badge, SEL V6, but this is the SEL Premium to be exact. As you can tell, it's very sharp. It's very cool to look at. I believe these are 20-inch rims. Yep, they're 20s. So this is not the R-Line package. This is just the base SEL Premium. But if you equip this as tested, or as you see here in like a red or a gray that they have available on VW's website that you can order for $395, this thing will top out at around $52,000 and change. And the only vehicle that you can really buy in VW's fleet in the US that's more expensive than that is the fully loaded VW ID4, which actually just came out. So it's actually a lot newer. The ID4 just went on sale, but the fully loaded one will not actually be here until the summer of 2021. So we'll step in the back and I'll show you kind of how nice it is. This is a leather interior for the SEL Premium, real leather. If you get the SC with the VTEX leatherette, it's not a real leather, it's like a synthetic. As you can tell, it's got heated seats back here, air vents, and it does have air vents like the base trim had, but it's got these chrome accents, so it's just spiced up and made a little more fancy. It's got some USB plugs down there, 115 volt outlet down there. These are the rubberized floor mats that are extra charge that come through VW. You got a reclining backrest, plenty of space in the back with the power liftgate. Let's check out the power liftgate real quick. But before we do that, let's check out this. You got a nice little, what do you call that, sunshade for your kids in the back seat or any passengers you have. It's got really solid, chunky doors. It's a massive door, honestly. This car is pretty dirty, so excuse the mess. Except inside, it's actually pretty clean. It's been vacuumed out. This is definitely not like an Audi in the way it's finished in terms of the cockpit or the interior of the vehicle. You can tell there's a lot of hard plastic on the sides, where an Audi would have carpet on the sides and LED lights. These are just incandescent lights. Under the cargo floor, you got a full-size spare tire, which is really nice. Some sound insulation and to keep the tire stable. And the subwoofer is plugged in right here, the Fender subwoofer. So, you know, there's not any, it doesn't cause any like vibrations or reverberations through the cabin, luckily, so that's not a big deal. But you can kind of tell like how much space is back there to recline. So this thing actually is a very roomy rear seat, a lot of cargo space, even though it kind of chops off a little bit here, so you got to be wary of tall objects. But the fore-aft distance and width of it is very, very large. We'll close it right here, and it's quiet and really fast in its operation. When you lock the door, the mirrors fold in and out, which is unique to the SEL Premium. And then when you grab the front door, or when you approach, I should say, then the mirrors unfold. You can step inside. And as you can tell, it's a little bit of a austere kind of basic interior. But then again, this is not an Audi product. This is a VW product. But you still get all the kind of Audi-like features, like the I think it's called the VW Virtual Cockpit or Digital Cockpit. It's not the Audi Virtual Cockpit, it's got a different name, but it's pretty much the same company that supplies the screen and the same programmers as Audi, and it's downsized just a little bit for the VW application. It's got plenty of lighting options, as you can tell, all weather lights, which are like fog lights, parking lights, regular automatic lights for high beam and low beam, which are full LED, and this has cornering lights on the SEL Premium, which is really nice. It's also got memory seats, which work even while you're driving, so you don't have to wait till you stop or put it in park to set your memory seat. But stepping in, it's actually very solid. The door isn't actually as solid as I was expecting. You can kind of hear it rattle just a little bit. Yeah, I think it's the mirror that rattles just a little bit. But you get a nice graphic that kind of comes up on that digital display in the instrument cluster. That's really cool. It's got the nice, I think this is a 10-inch screen, and as your hand approaches it, more options come up, which is really nice. It's kind of like the latest in the I think this is MIB3 for the architecture behind this display, so VW's latest infotainment system. Traditional gear selector, and I gotta say this VR6 engine really screams and is like a really fun engine to drive and really is punchy. But I actually don't necessarily think it's as fast as the 2-liter turbo. The 2-liter feels even more torquey than this. It's a lighter vehicle by about 100 pounds because the engine's lighter, doesn't need as much suspension modifications for the extra heft. This does ride better than the 2-liter turbo, so I will say that. The sound system is awesome. It really sounds good. The bass is really nice. You can adjust the mid-range, the treble, the subwoofer, and you can make it sound just excellent for the class. It's pretty close to on par with like the Bang & Olufsen offered in some of the Audi products like the Q5 and the Q7, but without the surround sound effect. So I'd highly recommend the Fender sound system if you're getting this car. And it's got plenty of drive modes. As you can tell, it's got like a street, snow, mountain driving, sand mode, or desert mode. And then you can that's when you toggle it back and forth here, but if you press the drive mode, you can switch between eco, normal, sport, and like a slick condition. So that works really well. As you can tell, it's not very fancy interior necessarily. For $52,000, I expected to have a little more soft touch, a little more pizzazz that like an Audi would have. But then again, this kind of separates itself from the Audi in that respect. Overall, I'm really impressed with it. I think it's a great car, and we'll step outside and kind of wrap it up. I'll shut the door here. Sounds a little more solid from the outside than the inside, but yeah, so it's a really nice car. Really enjoy it. Yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with it. And again, this is probably the most luxurious Volkswagen that is sold in the United States currently. The VW Atlas Cross Sport SEL Premium R-Line. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm excited to have driven this car, and I'll provide any more updates while the time I have it for the next few days. So hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day.